Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan. And Tottenham are back, baby. Yes, you best believe it. The best time of the year. Welcome to Tottenham Hotspur back. And with Tottenham being back, that means we are back here with the pre-match build-up. Every single game this season. Already 58 more people than what I thought be watching at 9 a.m. in the morning, guys. So big yourselves up. But also, let's big up Philip and Kuva for joining me so early. Philip, how are you keeping, brother?
Yeah, great. It's great to be going back and seeing a Spurs game later on today. You know, it's been, 6 weeks since the last one? It's a long, long time. I hate preseason. I really do.
You make it feel like an AA meeting. It's been 6 weeks since our last game.
I don't hate preseason. I hate the gap between the season ending and the season starting again. That's what I meant. You know?
Yeah. Oh, stop. I think we all do. We've all been trying
to... It is an addiction, isn't it? Spurs is an addiction anyway, so...
Yeah, that it is. I think we definitely need some AA meetings at times. Kuva, how are you keeping, my man?
All the better for a cold shower this morning, mate, as we were talking before the show. Yeah. It's so hot. It's getting irritable about everything, but football on the way back's helping a bunch. I love cricket, but it's not the same, is it?
Nowhere near the same. Look, I hate cricket. I think you know that, Kuva. Absolutely detest sport.
It's the only reason I mentioned it.
Especially when you get hammered by India.
But look, guys, cold showers, coffee's at the ready. Let's bloody have it. Tottenham are back. Of course, we do take on the K-League 11 today. K-League All-Stars, K-League 11. Of course, it is being held at the Seoul World Cup Stadium. Kickoff is at noon. TV channel is on Spurs Play. I also believe it's on cable over in the USA and UK and Ireland. It is not live on TV whatsoever. And make sure you join us for the watch along here at 11:30, guys. Of course, just a bit of team news before we get into the chat and see who's with us. Clement Longley, of course, didn't travel because of visa issues. Came here too late to get one. Joe Roden was left at home with illness. Regulon, Harry Winks, Endon Bella, and Giovanni Lo Celso have all been left at home to continue their preseason work. And Dejan Kulusevski was pictured leaving the field for treatment during training on Monday with a minor calf injury, and I reckon he could be held back as a precaution today. So we might not see Kulusevski. And Perisic is also working his way back from a calf injury that he had when he signed for us. So you probably will not see him today whatsoever. But Richarlison, Brezuma, Fraser, Forrester, all ready today. Let's wait and see if we see them in action. Big up, Ribsy, my man. This is a good way to do preseason. Bit of an exhibition. Good for fitness. Good for the fans on my side of the world. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Ribsy, all the way from down under. I believe about 9 p.m. over there. Perfect time for you. Actually, no, sorry, it's earlier than that. Kickoff is 9 p.m. I've failed maths, so I'm not even going to do that. Gordon Cockrell says, waking up on a Wednesday, knowing the mighty Lily Whites are playing with all the pre-match shenanigans from the Irish Hotspur. What a time to be alive. Big up, my man. Absolute legend. We've also got Vendetta in the house. Is kickoff in 3 hours, or is it at night? 3 hours, my man. 3 hours. It's 12 noon. Big yourself up, my man. Zoe's in the house. Good morning, everyone. Just at work, but watching this in the background. So excited for the game. Come on, you Spurs. Zoe, hopefully we do not get you sacked. You don't need to risk the job to listen to us. Big up, though. I appreciate that. Honestly, you must get so many people in trouble around here. You must all be wondering who the Irish Hotspur is. Loads of people listen to it during work. Wembley 1 says, good morning, David and the rest of the Flat Cap Harris Army. How great is it to have the boys in action and follow through the working day? First preseason game can always throw up strange results, as Man United showed. And Kuva was just saying that as well before we came on. Look, I think we'll win, but we'll wait and see. I mean, I'm not going to be pissed. Well, I will. I will be pissed off if we don't win, but I do understand it is preseason. Tony Cornelia, big yourself up, my man. Good morning to you. George Clark, good morning to you as well. Come on, you Spurs. Maffy Mac says morning. Carl Simpson says good morning. All, I hope you're all good. We are all great, my man. I hope you're keeping well. R Green 216 in the house, my man. Big yourself up. Great to see you. Also has that wonderful channel badge beside his name, just like Kuva here as well. And Celery Agent, he says, guys, we have Rex Adar. Exciting 8:05 p.m. in New Zealand. My man, I seen your comment yesterday. I responded. I told you we'd see you plenty more in the chat. Big yourself up. Paddy Higgins watching from work. Big up, my man. Big up. What commitment. Paul Holden says, good morning. Oh, come on, you Spurs. Good morning, Paul. Good to see you, my man. Carl Higgins, big yourself up. He also says, good morning, you lovely people. Big up, my man. We have Bob Spur TV says, nothing better than waking up for a morning poo and seeing you three average looking people on the stream. Although I did speak to Gary Mabbitt during one, so you're in a cool second place. Big up, Bob. Don't strain too hard, my man. Do not strain too hard. We've got Cohen Nato says, where can I buy to watch this match? Spurs plates, €45 for the year, my man. You'll get all 4 preseason games, plus a load of other stuff on it as well. Look, I paid for it. I think it's well worth it. So that's where you can watch the game, my man. Aoki Shamuka says, big up Philip Kuvan, of course, the original Irishman. Big up, my man. Really appreciate that. What a legend. Adrian Cheers says, big up, lads. Thanks for doing this watch-along. Come on, you Spurs. My man, this is the pre-match build-up. We will be just starting to watch along at 11:30 today as well. Look, you know, it's all back. Pre-match build-up, pre-match pump-up, watch-along, review, fan shows. It's all back in full force. Adrian Chia, big yourself up. Great to see you. Who else have we got in the house? We've got Hansa Reza. I believe this is Ellie's relation of Ellie's. Big yourself up, my man. We'll see 22 players play today, minimum. Unfortunately, at work, so I'll have to watch the highlights. That is sad, my man. That is sad. But look, you do watch the highlights. I'm sure we'll win. Near the sun, it's raining a lot in Seoul. Interesting. No, that'd be good for our players. At least they'll be able to cool down. KM Hong says Perisic and maybe Kulu missing the first game. 100%, my man. It's 5:09 in Korea. Big up. Absolute legend. Big yourself up as well, brother. Says Kais. John Fitzpatrick in the house as well. Big up, David. Come on, you Spurs. Kiwi Yido, 9:30 Wednesday night here in New Zealand. Come on, you Spurs. Big up all the New Zealand Spurs as well. HOTSPUR says, woo! Never been so excited for a friendly. Honestly, I couldn't sleep last night. I was the same. Just knowing Tottenham are back. The beloved Tottenham are back, man. It sounds good. Head the Gam says, morning, guys. Big up, my man. And Clement is in the house. Says, this is a great show. Big up, Clement. Really appreciate support, my man. Dark Sun G says, watching from work. Also, Rafina to Barcelona. Come on, you Spurs. Dark Sun G, my man. What time are you finished that? Well, hopefully you will get off in time for kickoff. But big up, Dark Sun G. What do you work? What do you work as well? Treat us to a life in the day of Dark Sun G and let us know, my man. Absolute legend. Big yourself up, Dark Sun G. And welcome, DM as well. It says, I heard Arsenal putting in a bid for 42 million for Savage. I'm very disappointed. We'll wait and see, because like Dark Sun G says here, like, you know, they've had a lot of targets that they've been after. Rafinha, who's also after Barcelona. Martinez, who's after United. Arsenal don't seem to be able to get their target, so we will wait and see. But big up, Dark Sun G. Another great point there. Another great way to laugh at Arsenal if we already do not. But look, let's get into it. I mean, Kuva, what's your thoughts going into today's game, my man? You excited?
Not incredibly excited, I must admit. It is only pre-season. For me, it's more of a feel-good sort of factor. It's Korean fans getting to see their hero Sonny, and everything that goes with it. I mean, Sonny's we're so lucky to have him. Not only a great player, but I mean, what a professional ambassador for the sport. And he's like the smiling face of football. It's everything I want to love about the game at the moment. Totally free of all the corruption and all the other crap that goes on. Just enjoy the pure football of it for the fun of it. And nobody sums that up better than Sonny. So, it'll be good to just see the lads running around a bit, pulling off a few tricks, trying a few things that they probably might not want to try in the league game. See if it works, you know. Perhaps even putting into play a few of these extra moves from the set pieces must have been learning with the new specialist we got. And just a rotation of all those fringe players. Just have a look at the likes of Pape Matar. We haven't seen him at all. Little bit of game time, perhaps for one of your favourites, Brian Hill.
Messi.
See how they're coming along playing with the rest of the lads. It's more of an interesting, intriguing time, and like I said, it's the feel good factor at the moment. The real excitement for me starts when we play Sevilla, and it like ramps up a bit then.
Yeah, 100% it does. 100% it does. But look, Conte did say they'll be working on things tactically that they've been working on over the last while. So it'll be very interesting to see what they are. Philip, how are you leading into this game, my man? You know, are you excited? What's your thoughts heading in?
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's first game out for a lot of the players. Like Harry Kane only came back to the club on Saturday morning before they flew out, so I'm not expecting full fitness from a lot of the players. I thought it was interesting to see that the three guys that seemed to be the fittest were Troy Parrott, Papa Matassar, and Brian Hill. They seem to be still going like Duracell bunnies after the 42 lengths of the pitch. They can't put them through the other day. So I'd expect to see them getting an outing. Okay, the first game of the season, there's going to be mistakes made. There's going to be, what worries me about a game like this is, not worries me, but it could happen. This is probably the biggest game some of these Korean players will play for a long time, and they're going to be up for it. So I expect us to be, try to contain them, maybe get an early goal, put the boys at ease, because even though it's only a friendly, Conte will be watching every move that these players make. Like, did you see him watching the training sessions? He was complaining about the passing accuracy wasn't good enough in the first training session of the tour, So
he absolutely bollocked Doherty out of it as well because he wouldn't move the ball quick enough. He bollocked.
Yeah, so but isn't it great to see that? To see a manager that wants perfection from day one. So while I expect a lot of ins and outs mistakes and maybe a lot of team changes during the game today, like Cooper said, I think Seville is going to be a much bigger test because then you're playing against players, pretty much, well, not quite the same standard. Only Spain is as good as the Premiership, but getting close to the same standard. So today it's against a team of enthusiastic guys trying to make a name for themselves. Sevilla, bigger test.
100%. And look, this Korean All-Star team have been here before. I believe they had Dark Sung-ji be able to confirm, but I believe they had Juventus out there a while ago as well, a couple of years ago doing the same thing. So, this isn't their first rodeo as a team together, and they might just throw it together and be a surprise package today. So we will wait and see. Rob, Wallace, I'm just going to go. Rob, my man, big yourself up. And he says, looking forward to all the good content coming from the Irish Hotspur this season. Come on, you Spurs. Well, my man, I really, really, really do appreciate it. And believe me, we've got a lot planned up. We haven't sat back over the summer and just relaxed. Even when we weren't streaming, putting together things behind the scene, working out how to try and do other things, how to get things together as well. So believe me, we have plenty coming this season, my man. Hopefully you and everyone else can keep enjoying the content because you guys are really behind this channel at the minute and it really is helping us so much. So big yourself up, Rob. And look, we look forward to having every single person enjoying us as well. At the end of the day, this would be no fun if it was just myself and Jack on our own. The fact that so many people want to come on with us, want to tune in, want to enjoy the games with us and communicate with us, it's absolutely amazing. So hopefully we can keep all of you entertained this season and you can stay with us. Big up, Rob, my man. Really do appreciate the support, brother. Just a few shout-outs to HOTSPUR, big yourself up. Lily White Lane, Paddy Harnett as well, my man. Paul Batty, big yourself up, brother. And then Dark Sun G says, love Conte doing sun ceremony with Sun. Spurs to win. Yeah, did you see them doing the celebrations in the pictures as well, Dark Sun G? Yeah. That's going to be an iconic image. I absolutely love that. Conte and Son doing it in the press conference for pictures. Big yourself up, but I really, really do appreciate the support, my man. But look, I mean, guys, considering there were doubts about Conte's future for the majority last season, especially after the 1-0 defeat to Burnley, it really did ramp up in February. How great is it, or is it a relief to still have Conte in this dugout, Philip?
Oh, it is, of course. Like we were all worried, especially after that Burnley game, because I mean, some of the comments he made at the press conference were cause for extreme concern, but they were also aimed at one man. Those comments were aimed at one person, who, in all fairness to him, took them on board, reacted, and did what he was requested to do. He's backed the manager. He didn't back Pochettino. He didn't back Mourinho. Nuno wasn't there long enough to back him. But he now realizes he's a world-class manager at the club, and he's doing his level best to keep him there. And by doing that, he's keeping the fans. Like, I mean, this is unheard of territory for Spurs. There are 5 players signed, and we're not even in the middle of July yet. We still have another 40-odd days to go in the transfer window.
Same.
You know,
I can't take it any longer. It's too good. Life is too good. I can't handle it.
Yeah, no, and what it's done is to, like, when you see guys like Ian Wright and Paul Merson visibly worried about what's happening at Spurs. Okay, Merson's making his usual derogatory comments about playing too much for Richarlison and that, you know. But when you see the opposition sitting up and taking notice of Spurs this early in the close season, we're in for a good season, boys.
Do you know what? I absolutely love that. I really do hope so. Philip, you're getting me too excited. The season hasn't even kicked off yet. Absolutely love that. Jacob, my man, UK and Ireland, it's not being shown anywhere. It does have to be Spurs play if you're over here, my man. But big yourself up, Jacob Mitchell, my man. Everybody swell, 173 in house. I really don't know why there's so much at 9 a.m. in the morning. But please smash that like button and that subscribe button. But Kuv, my man, how happy are you still to see Conte in the dugout? Considering, look, a lot depended on this summer getting the business done in early, and we've done it to be able to keep him here. So are you happy that he's still here? Are we lucky that he's still here?
Yeah, of course we're lucky to have him. One of the best managers in the world. There's very few people are going to argue about that after look at his resume, look at what he's done at different clubs. Yeah, I think he's for me, he's the most important man at the club at the moment. We love Kane, we love Sonny, we love Romero, Lloris, all the players, but Conte's the man. He's the one that's going to piece it all together. We can be missing a couple of players, and he's still going to put out a team that's going to be a nightmare for others to play against. He is the man. As Philip correctly said, the pressure was put on Levy this time. Looks like so far he's doing a pretty good job. I still think we're a couple of players light of really pushing on like I'm hoping for, and really closing the gap on them front two in the league. But if we do get a right wing back in, centre back, and a bit of luck, just that kind of wow factor midfielder, the sort of either one that scores lots of goals from midfield or creates lots. Just that something special, like if you like the prime Dele Alli, there's somebody like that. They've just got something about them the rest of the team doesn't offer. Plenty of different players out there, not exactly Dele Alli, but that sort of ballpark. I'm not talking about an Ericsson. Ericsson has had his time with us. Even he has struggled unpicking those, really locked up defenders at times, and people seem to forget that. I think we should be looking higher. We've got to be looking at when the name Savic comes up and he is linked to Arsenal. I think, why don't we just go for him, and they can do what they've been doing the rest of this transfer window and go for somebody that's got the name of somebody famous but isn't the same. They can go for a Robbie Savic.
Well, we would have in years gone by, that's for sure. Hopefully we can get in there, because I really don't want him going to Arsenal. That will be a game changer. He is unbelievable. Ebby Anite Revival says, keep an eye on winger Won Sang. He's one of the quickest Korean players I've ever seen. He might be He might be even faster than Son. I didn't think that was possible, my man, but we'll definitely keep an eye on him. Big yourself up. Dark Song G21 says Ronaldo got a lot of hate after that match for a no-show, unlike Neymar when he played for Brazil versus Korea 1 month ago in the same stadium. So Ronaldo didn't show up for Juventus when they're over there. That is insane, my man. Absolutely insane. Ronaldo usually scores absolutely everywhere, so that is mad to hear. But look, hopefully we show up today. I mean, we've got Gil Messi. Of course, we've got Son, Kane, who I think will do absolutely unbelievable. Richarlison making his debut. He'll have a point to prove. And I do actually want to talk a bit about Sonny. And I think we'll start now. We'll probably start talking about Sonny a bit earlier than what I expected. But Dark Song G, my man, hopefully we can turn up today. It's pissing rain over there, I believe. So hopefully that actually might help Tottenham, reduce a little bit of the heat. I know even when you're playing in humid conditions, the rain is nice. Trust me, it is very nice. Big up, Dark Sun G, brother. Really, really do appreciate the support. But look, I suppose we'll get straight into talking about Sonny, and then I can come back to other questions. So again, Philip, we'll start with you. Son had an amazing season last year, becoming the first Asian footballer to win the Premier League Golden Boot. And as we know, we are on preseason in South Korea, and Son will be desperate, to impress in front of his own nation. So he will be flying from the offset. And his dad also done an interview where he basically said Son must work harder and be 10% better to become a world-class player. Now, look, many of us already think he is world-class. And this is also when Son was asked about it. He said basically that, if I was world-class players don't even have to have this discussion. So I think Son, just judging by that, I think he's going to come back and have an absolute brilliant season this season again. I think you'll have another point to prove. But, Philip, do you think we will see an even better Son this season? And can he even get any better than what he produced for us last season?
Well, I think we're lucky enough that we have the likes of Son's father pushing him on. Like, Son's dad is never, as far as what Son, say, if Son scored a hat-trick against Liverpool, he'd go home and the father said, why didn't you score 4? He's got forever pushing him on, which is great because, it means Son can't rest on his laurels. He's got to keep pushing on. So that's why I think getting the Golden Boot last season was a huge boost for him. He's going to hit the ground running this season. And it's a brilliant bit of PR work for Spurs to go to Korea, close season, where Son is absolutely idolized, really, over there. To bring Spurs over there, to give the team now, Spurs probably got the highest profile of any Premiership team in Korea, which has got a huge population. And that's another huge boost for Son. He's so proud that his team has come to his hometown, or his homeland, anyway, his hometown. And he will be wanting a good result tonight and against Sevilla. But I think Son is going to be, under Conte's guidance this pre-season, we're going to see an even better Son next season. And the Spurs forward line next year is formidable. It's frightening. Yeah. If I was sitting in the opposition dressing room at 5-3 on a Saturday, looking at the Spurs team sheet, oh my God! You've got Kane, Son, Richarlison, Kula. It's. I don't know. I'm a long time supporting Spurs, as you know, but I have never been as confident and as looking forward to a season as I'm looking forward to this one, because we've got the manager, we're getting all the players into place, and Son is going to be an integral part of it. And for Son to do better than last season, he's got to score 24 goals. I can see him doing it. And then you've Harry Kane, who didn't really start this season until November. Yeah, he hits the ground running. He's happy. What's not to like?
No, look, I agree with you. This forward line certainly excites me. You've got Son, who I believe will want to come back and make a statement so that people will stop putting him in the question, is he world class? It won't even be a question. You look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane has every point to prove. He didn't start his season till, like you said, November last season. He'll be hurt he'd be delighted for Son winning the Golden Boot, but he'll be hurt, so he'll come back with aims to win that. Some will want to keep it. Kulusevski, I believe, will want to kick on from what he done for us last season. And Richarlison, would definitely have a point to prove him with the World Cup coming up. So I'm very excited by our forward line. But Kuva, do you think Son could get even better than what he was last season? Because despite the manager change, despite some games where some players were on and off, look, Harry Kane, on and off some games, but Son was consistent the whole way through under Nuno, under Conte. Can he get even better? Can he post better numbers, Kuva?
I think it's probably going to be more difficult for him to get better numbers because we'll be spreading the goals around a bit more this season, I think. But doesn't mean his performance level is going to drop, and he is at the peak of his game. This is the time to have Sonny. He's absolutely on top of his career, one of the best players in the world, and everybody loves him. Rival fans fear him, but admire him at the same time. You trust the manager. The fans love him. The whole of Korea loves him. He's just an Asian icon at the moment, isn't he, in the game? Which is a good thing anyway, because for a long time, Asia seems to have been so poorly represented in the sport. You got the whole of India, for a start, cricket mad. So the football sort of gets a secondary look in. Perhaps I think it's kind of a hopeful sign things are going to change. Are going to be more inclusive of all these different countries in the world. But at the moment, let's enjoy Sonny time. And I think he's got so much more to offer. He's still going to bang in about 20 goals next season, I think. To actually improve on it would be something incredible now. Because let's not forget, we've got Richarlison in to share some of the workload with goals now. Kulusevski will have a full season as well. it's exciting times, and who knows, with the fairly modest outlay we've done on transfers so far this window, there could be another big name coming in at some point. If it is the likes of a Milinkovic-Savic or somebody of that ilk, again, is it going to add to Sonny's goals or perhaps take some of the burden off him? I think it's going to take some of the burden off him. It's a healthier thing when we have about 5 or 6 players all hitting 15 to 20 goals than just having a couple that are hitting 25, 30 between them.
Yeah, and do you know what as well? Do you know what else excites me? You look down our left-hand side where Son notoriously plays kind of up the top. That's changed. You've got Langley, ball-playing ability, can hit passes over the top. You've got Perisic down that side. I mean, there's potential for Son to hit 30 goals this season, in my opinion. You know, because last season he was with Ben Davies and Sessegnon. Not much creativity coming from there at all. But that will ramp up this season with the likes of Perisic and Langley. So I think Son will be in for an even better season this season. And look, I mean, no doubt he'll even kick on even further because his father isn't the type of lad to let him settle. He said that in the interview. You know, what's the point of Son resting now? Once Son starts to kind of be happy with where he's at, that's when the decline starts. And I absolutely love that because it is true. Once players become comfortable and happy, the decline kind of happens. So the fact that Son's dad is there to drive him on, Son's not happy with where he's at and he wants to drive on. I mean, I think we're in for a scary season from this guy. I cannot wait. Oliver Freeman, big yourself up, my man. Great to have you back from holidays. Hope you're not too sunburnt. And Ellie as well, big yourself up, Ellie. Great to see you awake as well. Big up, Ellie. Gave me a wake-up call, actually, to make sure I was awake. Big up, Ellie. Absolute legend. Adrian Chia says, Steve Nichols on ESPN slagging off Conte for making the players sprint in the length of the pitch, saying it achieves nothing but risking injuries. It's bullshit. Look, you know what? I seen this yesterday, and I was going to go live about it, but then I said, what's the point of giving this idiot any airtime? Look, I've seen this guy on ESPN. He's been with them for quite a number of years. I think a lot of what he has to say is absolute total rubbish anyway. But the stuff he was saying, you know, it's unnecessary, this, that, and the other. I mean, there's a reason why he's sitting in the ESPN studios and Conte's a manager, in my opinion, you know, but the guy doesn't seem to get it. But look, Philip, I mean, what do you think about this? Of course, we know we have the Marine. I love it. I love his nickname, the fitness coach, the Marine. And then even what Zidane said about him as well. But, I mean, Philip, what's your thoughts on Nickel giving out about our Tottenham preseason? Basically, giving out that we're running these players until they drop. He's saying 42 lengths is extreme. I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
Bullshit, to be honest with you. Absolute bullshit. That's not the Steve Nicol that played for Liverpool, is it, by any chance? No,
I think it is.
Scottish guy.
Yeah, Sim.
You know, if that's him, then you can put him in the list with Merson, Pion, the anti-Spurs brigade. I mean, it's just if I'll tell you one thing, if Conte made the players walk the length of the pitch 42 times, he'd be giving out he wasn't doing them enough. He wasn't pushing them hard enough. You know, with these guys, they see something Spurs and they slate it, whatever it is. And it all goes down to my earlier assertion, they're running scared. They know they've got a problem this season coming with Tottenham. And I mean, every time I see my mate Merson's comments, I just switch off. You know, that guy is as useful as a chocolate teapot. You know, I mean, it's just, no, it's bullshit. Jealousy, fear, and envy. That's the 3 words I put down to those all those punters, the pundits that keep slating off Spurs. They're jealous of us.
It's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. Well, Philip, we'll give you time to go and update your list. You can now add Steve Nicol to it. I mean, Cooper, what's this guy talking about? Honestly, like, you know, look, I get preseason in his day was different. You kind of, you know, you had to do the running to kind of lose weight. But nowadays, players kind of stay fairly, you know, fit anyway. But do you think he has a point? Do you worry that the way the Marine is running them? Or are you happy to see us put through our paces? Because it looks like to me, Conte wants them to go from game one. Because when you look back, notoriously, Spurs' first 5 games are always a very mixed bag of results. But I think Conte wants to put that straight. He went 9 unbeaten when he first came here. I think he wants to start off the Premier League like that again. So do you understand it, or do you think this idiot here has a point?
I'm all for what Conte's doing. You got to hit the ground running. if we miss out on 3 points just at the start of the season, just because the players aren't fit enough, that's already potentially that's already title race gone. That's how good Man City are at the moment. So we've got to win absolutely everything available. That means straight away you've got to be into them. We've got to be going at Southampton like possessed demons at them. We want to be looking to smash 3 or 4 unanswered goals past them, and start off the pressure, keeping the pressure on the front two. Well, hopefully being one of the front two. Why not start off trying to lead the pack? Really put ourselves out there. So, Steve Nicol, I'm not going to slag off because I remember him as a footballer and he was superb as a footballer. But I think you're quite right, Dave. He had his time. His footballing knowledge is outdated now. It's from back in the 80s. Things were different then. It wasn't all about the fitness. Players used to go out drinking and midweek and stuff. Diets weren't a big issue. You didn't have all the technical directors, and you didn't have the sports psychologists and analysts and working on the game and fitness, all these level of sort of fitness coaches. Used to be you do pre-season, you do your training a couple of times a week, and then match day game. Different times now. You've got to be at the peak of your fitness. We've seen the difference it made with our players just last season. Conte's shocked at the fitness levels, brings his own fitness coaches in especially to do the job because we weren't right. He's put that right, and we finished the season strongly, laughing at our so-called rivals that had a full season apparently doing brilliantly. Conte comes in half season with a rudderless ship out of control that's had no proper pre-season and he isn't even fit, and we still get 4th. So what are we going to do this season when we do have a full pre-season? Conte's pushing them to the limits. We're going to be ready. That's what's going to happen.
Sorry, go on, Philip.
I was going to remember when Pochettino came in, the players were complaining about, well, not complaining, but saying his training regime was so difficult. I would say that was a walk in the park compared to what they're going through at the moment. We are going to be the fittest team in the Premiership by a mile next season. And it's going to show, as Peter rightly says, it's going to show in the last 10 or so matches when teams, injuries become a lot more easy to get when you're not, after a long season. We're going to be fit. We're going to finish strong. And, I think the likes of, as you quite rightly say, Steve Nicol would have finished his training, gone down the pub for a pint and a pie. I can't exactly see that happening with Conte and his boys now.
Fish and chips.
We laugh now, but that was the norm back then. That's simple as that. So
there was a photograph, one famous photograph of Jimmy Greaves sitting on the bench and Spurs were smoking a fag during the match.
Unbelievable.
I'm fagging a cup of tea, wasn't it?
It's a complete different era. But look, I think you both make great points. I mean, look, one point maybe I would add to that is if you look, anyone that's seen the 202 Days documentary, even go back and look last season, look how many late goals we got. Man City, Leicester, Watford, and there's more. If we didn't get them late goals, we wouldn't be in Champions League today, by the way. So the fact, and with that fitness, and you also look at what Conte said more or less at the start, coming in, getting them fit, that the goals from between 70 minutes and 90 minutes, not really a coincidence. It's because of the fitness. Most teams tire for the last 20. And if we go back to where we were on the pitch, look how many goals we got between 70 and 90 minutes because we were fitter than everybody else. And I think that's what Conte is going for. Look, Conte doesn't miss a trick. Whether it's to get them fit, to try and nick a game the last 10 minutes, or whether it's, whatever the guy does. He's an absolute unbelievable manager. But honestly, that guy, the Marine, I just love the fact that he's called the Marine. I mean, I think we all now know why Ndombele was left at home, because if you sent him to do 42 lengths of the pitch, he would have walked off after 4 and he would have embarrassed us out in South Korea. Everyone would have been pointing and laughing at Tottenham. Look at this idiot. He can't even do 2 lengths. So now we know why he was left at home. And I mean, in fairness, he's probably delighted he's been left at home because he'd be having sleepless nights out there thinking of the Marine. I absolutely love the nickname. Absolutely love it. I mean, it's brilliant. It's absolutely quality. Yeah, I mean, you weren't ever going to be afraid of someone. You are now.
He's trying to train his own sort of squad, the platoon, isn't it, of Marines, and he hasn't got room for a muck Marine, has he?
I absolutely love him. 40. I mean, that. By the way, that was their second training session of the day, and they had already trained for 2 hours before that. And then it's blow the whistle, line up, 42 legs, please. And even when Harry Kane was getting sick and all, they were still saying, "Get up, get out, and run." Oh, absolutely unbelievable. But guys, do you maybe fear that, this could wear off very quickly with the players? Because these players have complained before about working too hard. We know that they've done that under Pochettino. But then on the flip side, working too hard. But then under Jose Mourinho, they're giving out because no one was telling them to do any gym work. That they were just doing too little and they were lazy under Jose. So are you worried that they might start to complain again, that they might be over this sort of regime very, very quickly?
I'll tell you one thing. They're not complaining directly to Conte's face. That's for sure.
He'll headbutt them.
Probably there might be a little bit of moaning and groaning in the dressing room or, on the way home in the car about it. But you can be sure they're not going to say one word in public about it, because if they do, they know what's going to happen to them. They will just not be in the team the next match. No, I think listen, players want success. They realize that's what he's building towards. So I think they'll put up with it. They'll moan and groan privately, but not publicly. First player to go public, he'd be on the next flight out, because Conte will not take that.
I can't wait. One thing I couldn't take, Philip, is these players in the papers or in doing interviews with journalists crying. I could not take that. That drove me mad. It's like, look, listen here, you shitbag. You're on, I'm just using 50K as an average, but you're on well over 50K. You're complaining you work too hard. Now you're complaining that no one's sitting there telling you what to do. This is a fucking football club that many fans around the world absolutely adore. Our jersey is sacred now. Get out there and do it without moaning. And I'm glad Conte's here, because like you were saying, Philip, you want to moan, you're out this door. And look, that's the way it should always be. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. And Philip, or Kuva, are you concerned that maybe one or two might fall off and try and upset the apple cart?
If they do, the difference is nowadays there will not be any attempt to try and massage their ego or their aching joints. They will be sitting on the Danny Rose bench and waiting for their turn out the door. There's no messing about with this. What's going to keep them all in line as well is they will be seeing the results on the pitch. I really do think we're doing something this season. I think we're going to be up there in the mix with those Liverpool and Man City. I honestly do think that. The only concern for me is how well the new players adapt at Manchester City and Liverpool, because they could pull away and just be that sublime brilliance that takes them near 100 points. If they do that, we're not going to catch them. If they're hovering around the 90 mark again, though, I really do think we can eat up that ground. But we still need a few more players through the door. We do need that right wing back. We do need the central defender, I think. Possibly even two central defenders if we're really pushing the boat out. Another midfielder. So I like the way it's going. I think push them hard. They'll push each other hard, and let's do it. It's the feeling of you've got to have blood, sweat, and tears to get somewhere. You can't just expect a free pass.
Well, nothing's ever given easy, Cody,
Yeah, that's what Conte's putting together, isn't it? He himself, he works bloody hard. He always did as a player as well. You can see it in there, even in the training. You'll get the feeling the players are going around. They can feel Conte's glare on them. If they're not pulling the weight, he's going to have taken note. They're going through it. They're making sure they're going through it. So nobody's slacking off on that training. They are out for the count when they finish those runs. And I think it's superb to see.
Well, there's no finishing training going for a beer, which is ideal. Sorry for the god.
There's no hiding place anymore now, because you could say, "Oh, boss, I was brilliant at training today." Then they say, "Right, give me the pack off your back, slap it into the computer. Right, this is what you did."
Yeah,
so they can actually analyze what everybody's done. So it's not hearsay or guesswork now. It's absolutely scientific fact. So a player can't argue that he's training better than he actually. He thinks he's training better than he is. So I'll tell you one thing: we've probably got the most advanced technological equipment at Spurs to analyze all that. You know,
Yeah.
so there's no hiding place with Conte, even though he'll wander around missing nothing, but the things he does miss, it'll be picked up by the laptops.
Perhaps that's what happens now. Instead of complaining about them having personal chefs, they'll have their own personal hacker or something to tap into those figures and say they did a little bit more.
Probably already don't be giving any ideas to Ndombele Kuva. And Rimsey has the right idea. When it comes to Ndombele, you could probably charge pay-per-view to see him do the 42 lengths. That'd be funny. And Rimsey also a member for 12 months. There's another milestone, another season. Love your work, lads. Come on, you Spurs. Here's hoping we take all this hype and make it a season to remember. Well, Ribsy, my man, big yourself up. Channel member for 12 months. Really, really appreciate the support. And, of course, gifted 5 channel memberships not so long ago to five other people, which is a very, very kind thing to do. So what an absolute legend. But, Ribsy, I remember saying it through the bad times. I remember saying to every Spurs fan, stick with it. You've got to go through the crap, you know, in order to get to the good times. And we will have our day. Can it be this season? Might just come too soon. If we Conte sticks around, we have another good couple of windows. It's definitely happening, my man. Big up, Ribsy85. I really, really do appreciate the support. But yeah, guys, the Marine, I mean, I absolutely love that. I mean, there'd be no fucking hiding place with him out there bollocking people and putting them through the drills. And I really don't mind it. Look, we're going to build a team that you're going to have lean, mean killing machines out there. You know, when you're super fit, you think you can beat anybody. It's not only good for your body, but it's great for up here as well. And Conte knows that. So that's something else you can tap into. And they feel great in the mind as well. So it'll be absolutely unbelievable to see the benefits of this preseason, because I really do think we will see them. Dark Sun G says, after Conte's rigorous preseason, we would be the most fit Premier League team next season. This will be massive because there will be so many matches, World Cup, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League, with a few more incomings. Watch out, Premier League. And look, you're 100% right, Dark Sun G. It is absolutely crucial. And look, like I said, I think the biggest thing is Conte wants to hit the ground running from game one. Not sit there because look, most teams usually right off the first 5 games. It's sort of, it's like, you know, fitness, getting up to speed. But I know recently that had the chairmans of clubs have been trying to change that trend because they know how important now every single game is. Where they're actually offering incentives and winning bonuses to the players, usually for the first 5 games and the last 5 games, to start strong and finish strong. So. Look, I reckon we'll be definitely ready to go from game one, which will be a bit different because under Pochettino, like I said, the first 5 games, it was a bit mixed and he didn't really care about them. It was what we'd done after that. So it'll be very interesting to see if this plan by Conte will work and we can go at it from game one. I think he looks at that Chelsea game because he said this in 202 documentaries. And Chelsea losses last year, 3 in January. They hurt him. And I think he's looking at that Chelsea game. And I think he fancies it, you know. I think he sniffs an upset. Big up, Dark Zone G, my man. I cannot wait to see how fit we are entering the Premier League season.
I think you're right about some of those results hurting him, especially the Chelsea ones. I think there's certain ones that will be looking to reverse the result on. I mean, Chelsea at home, we should be looking at a win on that, not losing cheaply. Away is a different matter. That's always going to be a tough match.
We're away in the second game to them anyway, aren't we?
Yeah. I think it'll be a great gauge on how well pre-season's gone for us.
Yeah.
Because sorry, go on.
No, do you know what I see as the biggest threat this season? The break for the World Cup.
Yes.
Can you imagine the Spurs are top of the league in November and we all break up for a month, right? Coming back, it's going to be like the start of the new season. The momentum will be gone. We may have injuries from players going out to the various countries to play for the World Cup. So it'll be just typical Spurs luck if we're top of the league in November and we get a few injuries during the World Cup and can't maintain it once we come back in December. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. I'm worried about that.
It could also work in our favour, though, as well.
Oh, it could, yeah, it could. Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
But I'm being Spursy, or being a Spurs fan, you always think the worst is going to happen, you know?
Yeah, you're always looking for something in the season, you know, to derail it. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. But look,
it's weird. I don't feel that this season.
No, I don't.
I'm feeling like we're due some luck to go our way. I really do feel it. That's why I'm convinced we're winning something this season. Really am.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do a lot better in the league than a lot of people are saying we will. I really do see us hitting the 90 points mark. It's really not unreasonable. The signings we've made, the fact we got a full preseason with Conte, the fact that we don't have the first 10 games of the season run by Nuno, and we're not going, a manager halfway through the season taking over an unfit squad. All those factors in. You look at all the cheap results we've had throughout last season, where we lost it, where we should have won. The likes of Brighton, Burnley, Wolves at home, Southampton at home, Man United at home, Chelsea at home, even Palace away. All of those games. Why can't we turn those around? So it's a bit unreasonable to assume we're definitely going to beat City both times in the season.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a bonus. But there's enough of those other games. We should turn the result completely around. A few of the draws as well. I mean, like Everton, Southampton again, Brentford. These are teams we should be looking to put away. There's loads of points up for grabs. Where we can account for even if City do have a great day against us. I mean, they'll be looking at it. They're probably due one of those against us as well. We can't get away with it forever against them, surely. They're a bloody great side.
Look, even if you drop points in one of the games against City, which you would probably normally expect, but just beat the rest of the teams that you shouldn't be dropping points to. You can accept that, and look, I can accept us going for the season. And look, if we end up falling short, we fall short. But I can accept that knowing we actually went for it and gave ourselves the best possibility rather than falling short and sitting there being left thinking, what if? Big up Bobby K, my man. Really appreciate the support. Everybody, 332 people in the house, and it's only not even 10 a.m. yet. Absolutely incredible numbers. It'd be greatly appreciated if you could all smash that like button. Really helps out this channel. Smashing that subscribe button as well. Big push for 8K is on before the season starts. It's a race against time. Let's see if we can get it done. And guys, feel free to get in your super chats, just like Dark Sun G, like Rob, like Adrian Chia, guys. It is a great way to help support this channel and everything we do here. And it's a great way also to skip the chat, get your comment highlighted, and get a great discussion on it from myself, Philip, and Coover. But no need to worry. We understand. Look, me and Coover actually only talked about this the other day, even as your weekly shop's gone up with inflation and stuff like that. So guys, at least all we ask is keep getting your comments in the comment section, and we will keep bringing them up. But guys, I do want to move on from the fitness regime, and I want to talk a little bit about Richarlison before maybe we start getting into talking about some youngsters in this squad. And then I also want to grab a couple of quotes from Conte's press conference as well. And discussing them. So quickly, I think we'll have a quick discussion on Richarlison, guys. And for me, I think, look, I speak for everybody. I think we are absolutely all super excited to see the guy out there, hopefully score, and see him do the chicken dance. But my question is, and I was thinking about this last night, do you want to see him play on his own without Son and Kane to see how he gets on, see if he can lead that line and be the guy when Kane's not there? Or do you want to see him play with Kane and Son today? And we'll start with you on this one, Cooper, and go back to Philip.
I think what I'd like to say is break the game up into thirds. You perhaps start off with Richarlison not on the pitch. We'll start with the three we had to start with last season: Kane, Sonny, and Kulusevski. After the half-hour mark, bring Richarlison on, perhaps with all of them on the pitch still. Just something to try. Perhaps Kane dropping back into more of a midfield provider role. Richarlison up the front there. And then after the hour mark, then we'll think about Kane and Sonny off. Kane, Sonny, and Kulusevski off. And then we finish him with the likes of Richarlison and the Hill, Mora, those sorts of players coming in. And see how we finish off when neither of Sonny and Kane are playing. So you get a little bit of a look at all of those three of those possibilities. It's all about the fitness. It's all about just a bit of match sharpness. We don't want to be running the players into the ground after having harsh training as well. It's more about touch, feel for the ball, getting the passing moves going, understanding of where players are moving. It's not another grueling training session this time. It's fine tuning how the team plays. So bit of everything. Conte's going to have a look at players. You can't do that without playing them properly. So
true.
I'm thinking half hour for everybody. But I think Man United did that. No, Liverpool did that last night.
Yeah. No, Liverpool sent out 3 different teams, all getting 30 minutes each.
Yeah, there you go. On the other hand, there is a bit of rainfall in Korea at the moment. It's still very humid, I believe.
Aaron Dove giving us the update here, Philip. He says it's 24 degrees Celsius, raining and humidity 98% according to Google. Expect 11 changes. That humidity will drain them. Yeah. Fuck me. I'd hate to be a player out on that. Especially as a big guy like me, I'd be coming out a few stone lighter, that's for sure.
Yeah, you'd feel the rain on your face, maybe. You'd just be wishing it was a bit colder.
Oh, stop. I'd be screaming over at the Marine, get me an ice pack, get me some ice. Well, Philip, I mean, for yourself, do you want to see Richarlison play with Son and Kane and see can he integrate with them, or do you want to see him play on his own?
Oh, it's a tough one to answer that. You know, I'd mix and match it.
Best question anyone's going to hear all day, by the way.
Sorry?
It's the best question anyone's going to hear all day. It's a blinder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. I think if you take it that we've got 6 forwards in the squad. You've got Kane, you've got Son, you've got Richarlison, you've got Troy Parrott, Brian Hill, and Lucas Moura. I can see three 30-minute segments with those 3. Now, I'm not even going to guess what way he's going to mix and match them. You know, I think I would like to see for the first 30 minutes, possibly Richarlison with Son. I think Son has to start the match. I think being the ambassador out there or whatever, then possibly bring Kane on for Son and bring on Lucas Moura. The permutations are endless, and I'd like just to wait until after this match is over to see how Conte plays it, because I don't want to second guess him how he's going to put the permutations out there. You can be sure that whatever he does today, he'll do it differently against Seville. You know, just to try and see what the best combinations are. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Kulusevski isn't fit, like they say he isn't, that he plays the 3 of them to start the match. Yeah,
it'd be very interesting to see what happens. Bob just said that Bissouma and Fraser Forrester aren't playing. I can't really go and confirm that right now. If Philip or Kuva can have a look there, that'd be absolutely brilliant. But I do take Bob on his word. But if that is the case, that is a bit of a blow. I just want to give somebody a shout out as well. And that is Rob. Big up, my man. He's gifted 5 Irish Hotspur memberships. I'm not sure exactly how they work, to be honest with you, Rob. I'm not sure whether it's first come, first serve. But everybody, I mean, Rob, round of applause, my man. Absolute generosity to the people out there. 5 memberships to people out there. That's absolutely incredible. And the generosity. And hopefully whoever fails in them, we will see you on the fan shows every Monday and Friday. But Rob, what an absolute unbelievable thing to do. What a top man. People giving him a lot of big ups in the chat there, because it's not cheap. But, well, the memberships are cheap, but to buy 5 of them is not exactly cheap. That's probably another Spurs play there. So, Rob, big yourself up, my man. An absolute top man. Top man. Very, very, very kind thing to do. Everybody, give Rob a big up in there. Rob Valence. And Paddy Harnett says, yes, Bissouma, no Fraser Forrester will be involved today for Spurs. So there goes my next question, about the new signings. That is disappointing to hear. Both players are ill. Okay, interesting. So they're both ill, so we will not be seeing them today. So the only new signings that we have left to see are Richarlison and young Keeley as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But with Fraser Forrester now out, does that mean we might see young Irish keeper Keeley given a first half or a second half? Be very interesting to see. Yeah, it would be.
Absolutely, yeah.
It'd be great to see what he's made of. I know he's for the youngsters now, but look, it'd be great to see, how good he actually is. Another player I'll be looking forward to seeing today, the likes of Harvey White, Sawyers, Papa Marsar, Gil Messi, Troy Parrott. Be very, very interesting. But before we get on to them, Conte said in his press conference, my target is to give all the players at least 45 minutes because we are working very well and all the players deserve in this moment to play at least one half. Do you think we will see the teams mixed up, or do you think we might see fringe players maybe first half and potentially starting 11 in the other half? And we'll start with you on this one, Philip.
I'd say it'd probably be a stronger team to start with. You know, there may be fringe players is coming along. But just if I can just add something about Josh Keeley. I have a friend of mine he works for St Patrick's Athletic in Dublin, and they are so delighted that young lad is getting what he deserves because apparently he's a huge prospect. So it's great to see him. It's great to see him getting out there. No, I think they'll probably start strong, and that's more in deference to the Korean crowd than anything else. You know, because they want to see their hero playing, the hero starting. And matches normally get changed over after half an hour or 45 minutes. So they'd expect that. So I think we'll start strong and finish up with a lot of the fringers.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens. I mean, Cooper, do you agree with Philip, or do you think it could be the other way around where we start with the fringers and end strong? What's your thoughts?
I think just to stop the fans from rioting, we're going to have to start with Sonny, aren't we?
Yeah.
They wouldn't
There'd be a pitch invasion after 5 minutes if he's not the bench.
Although it'd be funny if Sonny was to come on during the game, because you'd sense all the fans are just watching at the bench intently, forget about the football, just waiting for Sonny, and then the place erupts. It would be amusing, but I think we could just mix it up a little bit. I think Conte's going to want to see how some of the fringe players or players he hasn't even looked at before, how they play with some of the people that he would assume would be regular first teamers as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a case of just, first 11 and then leftovers playing over the rest of the match. I think we'll see it mixed up a bit, sensibly, bit of experience in with the youth as you're supposed to. But I do think when it comes to the likes of Lucas Moura, you probably see him on when, say, Troy Parrott, Brian Hill are on at the same time. I think it's, again, mixing it up, youth and experience there. You got Brian Hill, who's obviously doing well in Spain now, played a little bit. He's got a bit of talent to him. You got vastly experienced Lucas Moura, and then Troy Parrott, who's very much the rookie at the moment. But put them all in together, see what they can do. Might even mix it up. Bit of time on the pitch spent with Kane or Sonny, maybe as well. As Conte said, at least 45 minutes. So he might play longer with some, just to get a taste of it and see what these players can do in with the big boys. But a lot of it as well for me, hopefully we're moving towards a point where we don't really look at it being a first 11. We'll look at Kane, Sonny, Kulusevski, and Richarlison. That's a rotational forward. You don't have to look at it. There's a front three, and one of those is a backup all the time. Richarlison, one of the big reasons we got him for was the versatility. So he can just fill in for anybody there. But he's also good enough to start. Some people say he isn't, but I totally disagree. I think he's going to be fantastic for us. I think he's worth a lot of goals this season. And his all-round play, aggression and mentality, bit of comedy value as well, wouldn't it, with the chicken? I think the other players are taking to him. I think the fans are going to take to him really quickly as well. They loved him at Everton. They really did. He's down to earth. He works hard. I think there's very much the Sonny sort of vibe to the man. Bit more devil in him, but still there's that hard graft and honesty about what he does. Not so much perhaps the play style, but the attitude. I think he's going to be great for us.
I think you summed him up perfectly when you said he's got the bit of the devil in him. I think that's a great word to use for him, for his type of character. I really do. I like that. I can't wait to see us back in action. Look, for me, I would prefer to maybe see the youngsters giving a go in the first half, kind of a mix, youngsters with some squad players, and then put our strongest team out there in the second half, and let's see how well it gels together. Do I want to see Richarlison up front on his own? I would actually. I'm going to say that I would like to see what he's like up front on his own. Can he lead the line? especially if he's out there with the likes of Gill and maybe Parrott, people like that. Be very, very interesting to see how he gets on. Bob Spur says there is a chance the game might be called off. Please don't say that, Bob. Otherwise, it was absolutely pointless me getting out of bed today and staying, with excitement yesterday, because apparently there's a monsoon coming.
Oh, yes. Sort of June till July over in Korea. It's monsoon season, isn't it? Yeah.
Thanks for pissing in my cornflakes, Bob. I really appreciate that, my man. It's a great way
moonsooning in your cornflakes.
Great way to enjoy a bowl of cornflakes in the morning. Big up, Bob Spur. But look, guys, I think we'll go into the last question, and then I do have to head over to our Tottenham TV to continue getting this game, everybody pumped up, because I'm the best in the business at it. So that's why they've drafted me in alongside Bob, Daigle, and who else is with us side today. Going to be doing a bit like what we're doing here and go into discussion on other things, hopefully separate to what we've done here today, so it doesn't become repetitive. Believe me, I've got a lot more questions as well for them, guys. So, Bob, get a coffee into you, my man, and get that brain working. Guys, do you see any of the younger players who come along, like Josh Keeley, Charlie Sawyers, Malachi Walcott, Harvey White, Papa Matsar, Brian Gilmessi, or Troy Parrott? Do you see any of them really taking their opportunity? And I know people are going to say, oh, well, Dave, saying that an opportunity in preseason is harsh. It's the way football is. You get 45 minutes in preseason, it's up to you to take it and prove to the manager why he should give you more minutes. And it's just the way football is. Football is ruthless. Some of these kids might only get the 45 minutes. Philip, do you see any of them taking it? And, do you see any of them maybe having a breakout campaign from this preseason?
It's very possible that one or maybe even two of them might do that. It's hard to actually predict which one it would actually be, Personally, I'd love to see Troy Parrott, having a good preseason and maybe getting kept on. Papa Matasar is the one that interests me because none of us have seen him really doing anything. And apparently he killed it in training the other day. So he might be one that could be a surprise package. The goalkeeper, Josh Keeley, he's one for the future. He's got an awful lot of roadblocks in front of him in the name like Larice and Fraser Foster. So I'd say he'll be one. Maybe this time next season we'll be talking about him. And who else is there? I suppose the one player that's been on the fringes for a long time is Harvey White, without actually ever really busting through. So maybe he'll have a chance. It's a great opportunity for them to get in the shop window. Not in the shop window, but to put themselves into context thinking for the squad for the new season. So hopefully one or two of them will make it. But as I said, it's very hard to predict because, some players might react better to the heat out there than others. Others might just die in the heat, So we'll wait and see. But it's very worrying there that the match might be called off because, I know when it rains out there, it rains. There's no. Sorry, what's that, Dave?
I'm going to cry if the game's called off, my man.
Yeah, because you literally you could not play in it. It's literally like rains buckets of water at a time. It's just incredible, So hopefully now that it passes by and the game gets played, because God Almighty, imagine them to refund 65,000 people their ticket money.
Yeah, absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
They must have had to before. It is monsoon season over there, so it's not a freak occurrence. So yeah.
Do you know what? Just quickly for me, I think, guys, if you want a sneaky bet today, I would put money on Troy Parrott scoring a goal. I really do think if you look at the way he ended the season, if you look at him in Mykonos doing preseason camp before preseason, first in the run on the 42 lengths, I think he's going to be fit and sharper than everybody else. And I would put on a sneaky fiver of him bagging a goal today, maybe even a brace. But Philip, you make a great point on Harvey White. Look, I was actually thinking about this morning. For me, I think it's probably his last chance to impress. Would you agree with that, Philip? Especially with the age he's at. He's kind of what, 20, gearing on to 22 now, I think.
Like the last 2 or 3 seasons, we've been saying, Harvey White, and he's never actually crossed the line. He's been close, but he's never actually made it. And I don't know what that reason is. Maybe his lack of self-confidence in himself to push himself forward. I don't know. Yeah, he's a good player, but is he a good player for Tottenham, or is he going to be moved on somewhere else? I think you're right. This is probably last chance saloon for him this season. He's getting to the age where he has to do something,
And this is a guy that can play left back, left wing back, or centre mid and a set piece specialist. So it'll be very interesting to see what he can bring. I mean, Kuva, yourself out of any of the youngsters, do you think any of them can really kind of maybe... Because, look, there'll probably be one spot left open between all the youngsters to maybe get registered, whether it's Gill, Sarr, Parrott, White. It doesn't matter. So what player do you... What youngster are you most looking forward to seeing, Kuva?
Well, as mentioned, Harvey White's one to keep an eye on for those very reasons. The fact he can cover the left wing-back role as well as a midfield role, and he's a set-piece specialist, actually gives him quite a few strings to his bow. So it'd be a good one to keep an eye on. If he really excels at it, gives a lot more confidence having strength and depth over on the left flank, doesn't it? The other one for me, I think he seems to be making all the right noises at the right time now, is definitely Troy Parrott. Because when he first came to the forefront, we all knew it was like he didn't really know what his position was going to be. He was playing as a forward-ish, and you couldn't quite work out, is he going to be a striker? Is he going to be attacking midfield?
Yeah,
I think he's just kind of developed into, perhaps he's taking inspiration from Harry Kane and trying to do a bit of everything sort of thing. But he's coming along as a footballer. Certainly, he's finding the net more often, which is definitely a good thing. And you know, there's something there. He's just starting to push himself into the, as Philip said, shop window, but I know what he means. Shop window with Conte, if you like, rather than with other clubs. Let's hope he can impress on pre-season, because if that's the case, that could be could even turn out to be that little missing element we're missing from the front line. When we're struggling for numbers, there's a couple of injuries, players fatigued. Troy Parrott coming in a few of the games that, you know, perhaps not quite so high profile yet, but he could do a job in some of the League Cup games and stuff, things like that. Perhaps perhaps some of the so-called lesser teams in the league. I mean, let's face it, we are going to have the likes of Nottingham Forest in the league this season. They're not going to be the greatest side in the world. I mean, they could, all due respect to them, and I'm giving none because it's not Nottingham Forest. So we should be smashing them all over the place. Now we have got the likes of Richarlison to take up Kane's mantle when he's not on the pitch. Yeah. We can also add in the likes of a Troy Parrott or somebody like that when we got those games in the bag and still maintaining control at the same time. It's kind of contradicts what I was saying a few weeks back now, but Richarlison has changed that outlook because we've got the ability to change the personnel now a lot more easily. So, I think those two for me out of all the youngsters. And as said, if Forster's out, Keeley has a chance. Why not? Let's see what he can do. We bought him for a reason. It's fun to watch our youngsters come through. It really is. We all get excited about it. They don't always make the mark, but if you don't look at them at a pre-season, when are you going to?
Exactly. And you make a great point there. And look, just on Troy Parrott, look, I think when he first broke through, I remember him playing a cup game under Pochettino. I remember him playing a couple of preseason games, and he just didn't have what it takes to lead the line. But you look at him now, his mentality has changed. He's bulked up a bit. He's kind of grown into his body, and I think it's really clicked with him. And for me, I'm really excited to see what he can do. Dark Zone G says, I've never seen soccer called off because of rain. There was one K-League match that played under heavy rain, unlike baseball, that gets cancelled with a bit of rain. Dark Zone G basically telling us, reassuring us the game will not be called off. But Dark Zone G, my man, I really do hope that is the case, because happened to me last season. I got up early for a Burnley kickoff, and guess what? It didn't kick off. So hopefully it won't be the same today, because, look, every Spurs fan was super excited. Every Spurs fan was up early today. Every Spurs fan had trouble sleeping last night. So Dark Zone G, I hope it's on, and I trust you. If it is cancelled, Dark Zone G, I'll be looking for you, my man. I'll be looking for you. But Dark, my man, hopefully you can finish work, get off, and get home to watch the game. But look, guys, I think we're going to have to wrap it up there, because I need to head over to We Are Talking TV and get things kicked off over there in 15 minutes. I still have to sign in and send out the links and everything else. So hopefully we will see people over there. But guys, we are doing a watch along here that is kicking off at 11:30. So hopefully we can see you all back here. Maybe go off, get a bit of breakfast, maybe treat yourself to a breakfast roll, sausages, rashers, bit of brown sauce, butter on that bad boy. And hopefully we'll see you all back here at 11:30 today. But Philip, I mean, anything you want to say before we end off, my man?
No, I mean, this is the start of the season. This is the defining season in a long time for Spurs. So let's kick off. I know it's only a friendly. Let's kick off with a win. Get the positivity going, and this time by 9 months' time, we'll be sitting there counting up the trophies.
I really hope so. I really do hope so, my man. I love having you on. You get me super excited for the season ahead. 4 weeks early as well. Or not actually 3 weeks early. That's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Kuva, anything you want to say before we end off? Any channel you want me to plug for you?
No, it's just big up Bob Spur tonight. He's as far as I know, he's still going through with the. He's doing a special on what it's like to be struggling after you come out of a coma, and he's got a few guys on with similar experience. So it's going to be a wildly off the track show, but I think it's going to be a really good one and a real eye opener for people. Having just talking to Bob myself about it a little bit, there's some horrendous side effects of going through with that process, and there's nobody really talks about it. I knew so little about it. It's not a subject that comes up, so it's an interesting watch if you're just intrigued on those sort of things. You know, the human mind and how it copes with certain situations. As for the football, I'm looking for this match today. Bit of fun. Don't worry about the result. Worry about the occasion, that it's enjoyable. Just see a few passages of good play and signs that the players are gelling together, pulling off a few nice little moves. That's all I'm worried about, because that will come as the pre-season progresses, when we're going to hit the ground running at the beginning of the season, and we're going to be winning something.
Yeah, honestly, I cannot wait. Massive thank you to Philip and Kuva this morning, getting up bright and early, 9 a.m. to come and join me. It's not an easy thing to do at all, so I really appreciate you two boys. I appreciate all 340 people that were tuning in as well. 9 a.m. start, it was an early one. I honestly thought we'd be speaking to about 60 people, so everybody, big yourselves up as well for tuning in, for liking and subscribing, and a big up to Rob for the super chat and the 5-channel memberships donated to people out there as well. Top thing to do. Big up Dark Sun G, Adrian Chia as well for the support, guys. Absolutely massive. This channel and every channel, really does appreciate the support, and they need it as well. Look, nobody has any big wigs behind any of us funding us whatsoever. So, the donations really do help out the channel, guys. So massive thank you. And look, we will see you all back here at 11:30 for the watch long with myself and Jack. Hopefully we can all enjoy this game together. Hopefully we kick off the season with a nice win as well. That would be absolutely unbelievable and give us great vibes heading into the Sevilla game. So guys, go and have breakfast. Get the sausages on the frying pan. I'll see you all back here at 11:30. Come on, you Spurs. Anyone that doesn't want breakfast, follow me over to We Are Tottenham TV. Let's have it.
Breakfast it is.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.